Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Rohan, otherwise known as the Roshake Redemption, and today I'm bringing you the start of a brand new LP series on my channel. That's right, folks, in this episode, we're going to be starting off the Pokemon Platinum Slacklocke. So let's go ahead and get straight into this, guys. And for those of you who are new, you're probably wondering, Roshake, what in the hell is a Slacklocke? Well, Slacklocke is based on 4 main rules, and I will put these in the description and also leave a link to the rules video where we explain those rules just a little bit more in depth. But the 4 rules are as follows. 1. The entire game must be played on set battle style, no exceptions. 2. All Pokemon must be holding an Iron Ball at all times. 3. All Pokemon must be given the Truant ability, which in case you guys don't know, Truant is the same ability that Slacking has. So all of my Pokemon are only going to be able to attack every other turn, which is going to be really tough. That is the main crux of the challenge. That is the most difficult part by far. And the final thing is that no items may be used during the Slacking off turn. And the reason why we have this rule is because if you wanted to, you could just spam healing items during the Slacking off turn. And then this challenge would be sort of pointless. So that's why we implemented that rule. But that's a Slacklocke. That's the basis for a Slacklocke, guys. Like I said, I will leave the rules in the description, so definitely check that out if you guys want to learn more. And feel free to leave me any comments as well with clarifications, because this is sort of a semi-complicated challenge. Oh, and I should say, we are going to have to use action replay codes to do this, so I apologize for that, but that's really the only way. That's the only way we can change our Pokemon's abilities, because obviously, you can't just go in and edit a Pokemon's abilities in-game normally. But anyways, he's going to send out a Baneri, and Baneri is a very interesting Pokemon. I feel like a lot of people dislike it, but I personally think it's really cool. And Mega Lopunny is actually kind of scary. It's actually kind of a beast. Got some pretty amazing stats and some pretty scary moves. But I debated being the girl character here, actually, because I've never been the girl character in any of my LPs. And the girl character's design in this game is very cool, but I actually also like the boy character's design, excuse me, a lot as well. So we're actually going to go ahead and be a boy here. Right. Yes, I'm a boy. You should be able to see that, you idiot. I obviously look like a boy. But anyways, I love how professors always ask that. Like Professor Oak in the first Pokemon game, like, wait, what was the name of my grandson again? Like, you should know this, you idiot. And I realize they're trying to make you name your rival in like a pretty creative way. But it's still stupid. It's still sort of stupid. It's still sort of cheesy. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and name ourselves Ro, because for those of you who do not know, my real name is Rohan. Although I said that at the beginning of the video, so you guys should know by now. But anyways, yeah, so my real name is Rohan, and my nickname, both in real life and on YouTube now, it's sort of spread to YouTube, which is very interesting, is Ro. And we're going to name our rival Bud, after the person who's doing this challenge alongside with me. Speaking of which, I will include a link to Bud or Rankless Warrior's channel in the description and in an annotation, because we came up with this challenge together. It was a collaborative effort. So definitely go check him out after the video. Okay. Alright, our rival's name shall be Bud. Yes, that is my friend's name. We're gonna be making so many jokes about how stupid Bud is, and I cannot wait. Seriously though, your rival can be a little annoying sometimes in the game. I don't dislike your rival. I think he's an interesting character, but sometimes he's just got so much energy. And when you're really tired, and when you're playing this game at night, when you've had like a long day at school or work or what have you, and you come back, and your rival just got so much energy, it just makes you want to leave his presence. Anyways, Pokemon are by our side always. I hope you understand the meaning of those words. Quote by Professor Rowan. Okay. Let's ask Professor Rowan. Jubilife TV. Oh, speaking of Jubilife, we actually basically cannot start this challenge. Whoa! There's Bud running in with so much energy. There you are. Hey, Ro, did you see the TV? Sure you did. Professor Rowan, that's a really important guy who studies Pokemon. That means he must have lots and lots of Pokemon. So if we ask him, better give us some Pokemon. He said Pokemon like 6 times in the same sentence, and I'm gonna stop with that voice. It's probably annoying. I've attempted voices in my LPs before, but I always fail. So we're not really gonna do any voices. Don't worry, guys. I won't torture you with the agony of my voices. But anyways, we cannot start this challenge until we get to Jubilife City, and the reason for that is, in order for the cheat I have to work, in order for the hack, or whatever you want to call it, the Game Shark code, to work, we need the Poketcher, the Pokemon Watch, and we do not get that until Jubilife City, so chances are for these entire first 2 episodes, oh, don't go into tall grass, well, no crap, I'm not an idiot, unlike someone else, which you guys are about to see in a second, and if you guys don't know, your rival, you'll see in a second. I don't know how you wouldn't know unless you've been living under a rock and you've never played this game. Which if you haven't played this game, then you should, because it's a great game. Okay. I'm going to see Professor Rowan. You should come to him, quickly. Oh my gosh, what now? Oh geez, forgot something. Classic Bud. Classic Bud being stupid. But yeah, so the challenge is gonna have to wait until we hit Jubilife City. I suppose I could hack in the Iron Balls now, but I cannot I cannot change my Pokemon's ability. I cannot use the ability modifier code until we get the Poketch, because it uses the Poketch. You have to enter like the ability number on the calculator, and that's how it works basically. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a glitchy code, so it might take a few tries. But I'm mostly going to be doing that off screen, and I'm going to cut out when I change my Pokemon's ability. So it'll just be like magic. I'll just randomly cut to my Pokemon and we'll have Truant. Speaking of which, using a Pokemon that relies heavily on its ability in this challenge would be very, very, very not good, I guess you could say. Not good. It'd be very bad because its ability would be taken away and it would be given Truant, so it would be at a huge disadvantage. Like, you know, so a Pokemon that relies on, like, Magikarp, for instance, would probably not be the best choice. Also, fast and frail Pokemon are just out of the question. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm not choosing Chimchar. There's just no way. Because, like, Infernape is a great freaking Pokemon, but it relies on its speed. And with an Iron Ball and the inability to attack every other turn, it's just not gonna be able to do anything. Oh my gosh, he's such an idiot. Did you hear what he just said? Oh, if we see a Pokemon, just scoot to the next area of grass before it can attack you. Anyways, you two don't seem to have any Pokemon between you. Then what is the meaning of going to this tall grass, you dumbasses? That was me adding a line. I love the awkward silences in the conversations with Professor Rowan. You can see it with the random dots. They tried to go into the tall grass because they want a Pokemon. What to do? The world would surely change if they were to meet Pokemon. See, okay, if I were a professor and I see two idiots running into the grass like this, my first thought would be, these two are never getting Pokemon. Screw you two. No, I hate Pokemon. You're not making any sense here. What's wrong with hating Pokemon? It's a legitimate opinion. I love it. This is the classic, like, yes or no option, but it's really not a yes or no option. Like I'm not sure if that's Nintendo trolling us, or I'm not sure if that's them trying to make it seem like there's some semblance of choice when there isn't. It's so strange because my channel focuses on Bethesda and Pokemon, and in Bethesda you have like so many choices, but in this game you really don't. there's like one path. Maybe they'll change that in future Pokemon games. Pokemon RPG, Pokemon Skyrim, Pokemon Fallout. I don't know. Imagine like going through Pokemon in like the wasteland of Fallout. Like you have Pokemon, you're like battling other trainers in the wasteland. That would be so crazy. You're like battling alongside your Pokemon with like plasma rifles and crap. And now I'm just not making any sense. I know, I tend to go off on very strange tangents. And ooh, it's done. I always thought it would have been, excuse me for the voice crack, jeez. I always thought it would have been interesting if Dawn had been like your third rival, because or second, excuse me. Because you never really battle her or anything like that. But yeah, it would have been interesting if you had two rivals, sort of like you had in third generation with Wally and May. Although, I felt like May was like a crappy rival, because you never actually had a difficult battle against her. You do have that, I guess in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you do have that battle at the end, but that's still a crappy battle. Like, she's pretty weak, to be honest. I don't know, I sort of wish that, you know, they had done a little bit more with May. Like, if May had, like, you know, challenged you right before the Elite Four, which I know maybe it would have been a bit much with Wally and May. But if Wally had challenged you, like, I know in Emerald, Wally challenges you at the beginning of the, of Victory Road. Maybe if May challenged you at the end, that would have been interesting. Anyway, let's go ahead and choose our starter. Enough talking about rivals. Okay, so as I said, there's no way I'm, oh, that's not Chimchar. There's no way I'm choosing Chimchar. There's just no way. It's just not happening. This challenge would be too hard. So, and you guys know how much I love both Turtwig and Piplup. So this is a tough choice for me. This is a tough choice. But I'm actually gonna go ahead and go with Turtwig. Turtwig is one of my favorite starters of all time. Might just be my second favorite starter behind Mudkip. Mudkip being my first Pokemon. I gotta put it as my first starter. I'm a Mudkip fanatic. But anyways, yes, we're going to be choosing Turtwig, and Torterra, once we get it, is going to be an awesome Pokemon. Torterra is a great Pokemon, very bulky, pretty slow, but that doesn't really matter in this challenge, because all my Pokemon are pretty much going to be going last anyways, because of the Iron Ball. Wait for me, please. I suppose I could give my Pokemon lagging tails, and that would ensure they go last, I believe, but we're going to give them Iron Balls. And the reason why is because I just feel like it fits in with the whole idea of lock, you know what I'm saying? Like, locked down by Iron Balls, and that's sort of why we named it a Slacklocke. Oh, I need to clarify. This is not a Nuzlocke. This is, despite the fact that it's named a Slacklocke, and I realize it's sort of confusing. We sort of wanted to, you know, create a pun, I guess, with, you know, sort of like locking your Pokemon into only being able to move one turn, or every other turn, excuse me, and sort of bogged down by Iron Balls, which maybe that was a little bit confusing, but I feel like it just sort of rolled off the tongue, so that's why I've named it a Slacklocke. So I apologize if I've confused you guys. I apologize. Feel free to leave me rude comments. Whenever I say that, you guys don't leave me rude comments, though. You guys need to leave me more rude comments. Not actually. I'm fine if you guys don't leave me rude comments. Anyways, let's go ahead and tackle this thing. Leer. Oh, crap. Okay. I'm pretty sure this thing has the Scratch, and Scratch is OP at this stage in the game. Well, not really OP, but it's a little bit better than Tackle, because it's 100 accuracy and 40 power, whereas Tackle's only 35, 95. I wish they had buffed Tackle's power to 50. I think it's 50, 100 in 5th and 6th generations, so. I wish they had done that. It's not like Tackle's like a pretty good starting off move in 5th and 6th generation, but like I feel like for some reason the 95% chance just means like 50% chance to miss. Literally. It's like classic Pokemon games. Okay, that doesn't do that much. My Turtwig is a defensive monster. Maybe we have a plus defensive nature because that does not do anything at all. Like holy crap. We should be able to take it down unless it crits us. Even if it crits us, we're taking it down. It would have to crit us and we have to miss a ton of times, which knowing me, something like that will happen. Alright, bye-bye Turtwig. Or, bye-bye Chimchar. I don't want to say bye-bye Turtwig, but anyways. Okay, level 6. 69 experience. Lol, lol, lol. I'm so immature. You got, for those of you who don't know, I'm like the most immature person ever. Like in Fallout, in my Fallout LP, when I kill enemies, I just go up and start teabagging them. Like I'm 20 years old, but like I've the mind of like a 3-year-old, literally. Anyways. Alright, bye, bud. That was fun. I'm glad I annihilated you. Okay, looks like we've got a little scene with our mom here before we take off. I like your mom in this game. She actually plays a somewhat minor role in the story later on. Nothing major, but she'll show up again. It's like most moms in most stories just sort of disappear. But she does play somewhat of a role in this game. Sand Gem Town. We have to go to Sand Gem Town. I never knew how to pronounce that. Is it Sand Gem? Well, as a kid I pronounced it Sand Gem, but it's definitely not Sand Gem. It's probably Sand Gem. Or maybe Sand Gem. I don't know. It's a strange name nonetheless. Although I suppose it is sort of cool, like, you know, sand and gem. Okay, anyways. Oh, I should also discuss the, in all of my LPs, I'm a huge anime and manga fanatic. So in all of my LPs, I tend to, I don't know, I not in all of my LPs, but in my LPs so far, what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure if I'm going to do this all the time in the future, but in the 2 LPs I've done so far, I've named my Pokemon after characters from a specific anime or manga. So for Light Platinum, which was my first LP, I named my Pokemon after characters from Legend of Korra and Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I know is not technically anime, but and in my last playthrough, I named my Pokemon after characters from One Piece. Looks like Bud's coming with us. Oh no, we need to go to the lake. Okay. In this LP, the naming theme is going to be we're going to be naming Pokemon after characters from Fairy Tail. So you guys can look forward to that. Which, if you guys don't know what Fairy Tail is, or if you guys aren't familiar with anime and manga, I definitely recommend checking it out. I'll leave a link in the description to the manga and the anime. Most people don't really like manga the first time they read it. I recommend starting with anime, probably. I personally prefer manga now. Oh, I need to do a voice for this guy. I will make it all mine one day. Cyrus is my name. Remember remember it. Until then, sleep all you can. Legendary Pokemon of the Light Bad. Okay, don't worry. I won't be doing that voice much. I just wanted to do it the first time. Allow me to step aside. I feel like that's more like his voice. Like, sort of stern and emotionless. Okay. Weird guy. So that is... I won't spoil it for those of you who, like I said, have been living under a rock and have never played this game. And oh my gosh, it's a legendary Pokemon's Cry. I forget which one of them is here. I think it might be Mesprit that's here. The legendary trio is composed of Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie. Azelf is definitely my favorite of those 3. Azelf is awesome. Azelf is very offensive, and I love offense. So we don't need defense at all. Yes, no crap. Bud, stop being stupid. Obviously, we don't have Poke accent balls. Okay, stop talking. Oh my gosh, classic. Okay, well, he's gonna beat us there, but he's not gonna beat us for the rest of the game. I don't know, that was a bad comeback. Let's go ahead and check out our Turtwig a little bit, actually. Impish. I forget what that does. I think it increases physical defense, reduces special attack, which, if so, that is a phenomenal nature. That is a phenomenal nature for this LP, because Turtwig's a physical attacker, so it doesn't really need its special attack, but we need all the freaking defense that we can get. Right. Funny story. This is actually my second recording of this. You guys won't believe why. I downloaded the wrong freaking game my first try. Yes, I downloaded some hack called Perfect Platinum, and I played through part of it, and then I ran into a Meowth, and I was like, wait, what the heck is going on? You can't get Meowth in this game, at least early on. And I realized that I literally just, like, downloaded the wrong game. I downloaded the wrong hack, which this is a vanilla game, by the way, I should say. This is just pure Platinum. Although there's probably a hack called Pure Platinum, because there's a hack called Perfect Platinum. I looked up, like, you know, like, pre-patched version of Platinum, so that I wouldn't have to deal with any glitches and bugs. Which in 4th generation, you don't really have to deal with that, usually. In 5th generation, it's worse, you have, like, freezing and crap. But yeah, so I looked up that, and it just gave me Pokemon Perfect Platinum. And when I saw the download link, I was like, oh, it must mean that it's, like, perfectly fixed, right? And I'm such an idiot, like, the way it was phrased was pretty obvious that it wasn't, that it was just a ROM hack. Anyways, we're gonna go inside here. Oh, man. But yeah, so first 2 episodes, we're not really going to be doing all that much. The challenge isn't really going to start until the 3rd episode. Unless we might be able to start next episode. We'll see how much progress we make. I want to make these between 15 and 20 minutes. And we're running around the 17-minute mark, I want to say. It's difficult to tell because I have like some setup before recording, some setup after recording, so that is a gross estimate. But anyways, we are actually going to name our Turtwig Warrid. And for those of you who don't know, Warrid is a character from Fairy Tail, obviously because the naming theme is Fairy Tail. He uses like plant-based magic. I'll see if I can flash a picture of him up on screen right now. I'll probably forget though, which I always do. And if I forget, leave me a rude comment. Classic. If I ever do anything wrong, just leave me rude comments. Yes, I'm happy with that nickname. Wait, I didn't check if I spelled it right. I hope I did. That would be very anticlimactic if I spelled it wrong. Okay, shut up, dude. You're an old geezer and you're just rambling on and I really don't care. You're worse than Scribe Rothschild and Elder Leons from Fallout 3. No, stop talking to me. Don, don't be an old geezer. Let's move on to the main topic. Oh my gosh, he's gonna ask me to do the Pokedex for him, isn't he? Okay. Exactly what type of Pokemon live in the Sinnoh region. Do this necessary to collect data using the Pokedex. This is what I wish to ask of you. This is always a pretty big moment in Pokemon games, the Pokedex. Although, I feel like for, the sort of challenge I'm doing, and for general LPs on YouTube, the Pokedex isn't really all that important, because I don't really focus on catching Pokemon all that much. I mean, the Pokedex is interesting, and I think as a kid, Pokemon Ruby was my first game. I believe I actually completed the Pokedex in that game, and legitimately completed it, and I was so happy when I did. I was so happy. In hindsight, it was not worth the effort, though. There's no way. I had to like trade with people, and I had to like beg people, like, oh, can you please trade with me? Like as a kid, that was just like a huge thing for me, completing the Pokedex. Was a Piplup. If you would have chosen a Piplup Road 2-1, would you have the same Pokemon now? I don't think you can ever have the same Pokemon as her. Like, she always chooses the 3rd one that you and Barry did not choose. Which is why it would have been cool if she had been your other rival. Although, I don't want them to spam the rivals. Like in freaking Light Platinum, if you guys have ever played Light Platinum, it's a fan-made game. There are literally like 10 rivals. It's absurd. It's completely absurd. Oh, crap. Whoa! He's creeping up on us from behind. I have something good here. You should take this as well. Obtain TM27 return. I think that's return. If so, then return is... Oh, it is return. Okay. If so, then return is a move, normal type move, whose power increases as your Pokemon's happiness increases. I believe it maxes out at a base power slightly above 100. So, I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'm a Pokemon noob. How could I not know that? Probably. I would imagine all the professors were Pokemon trainers when they were young. Well, you might in the game, but you definitely don't as like a person, because I'm a pretty seasoned Pokemon player. Anyways, this building with the red roof is the Pokemon Center. It's a place that heals Pokemon that have been hurt in battle. I actually did my first like sort of test stream yesterday. I'm recording this on a Thursday. I did my first test stream on Wednesday. That was very interesting. It was a fail stream because I didn't really know what I was doing, but it was a ton of fun. Just being able to interact with you guys was awesome. I'll try and do streams more in the future, but with school starting up soon, it's gonna be a little tough. Yes. Oh, you have to go all the way back just to see our family and say goodbye to our mom. Although I guess we should. Like in real life, if I were going off on a long ass journey, I would. And it's crazy how like you go off on a journey when you're like 10. Like my mom would never let me do that in real life. But yeah, guys, I'm actually gonna go ahead and end off the episode here. As always, if you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe for more Pokemon content in the future. The comment question of the day is, what is your favorite starter from the 3 Sinnoh starters? For me, as I said, it's probably Turtwig. Torterra's an awesome Pokemon. Love the typing, even though it's very susceptible to ice attacks. I really love the typing. Piplup is a close second, and then probably Chimchar. Although I really love all of them. But let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next episode of my Pokemon Platinum Slacklocke.